Well, especially if we talk about Michigan State, Ole Miss. The point spread is weird. I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to piss you guys off. I've thought about this. I've thought about our friendships. I've thought about the career of Tom Izzo. This is Michigan State's winning this game. I've never been more confident of anything probably in my life in sports. I don't know what happens after that, but Ole Miss, I watched that game because I'm an idiot and I live bet Iowa State to double down when they were down like 8 points in the first half.
I did too.
I was like, yeah, they'll win this game. Ole Miss, I had on the little screen while watching you guys. Every time I looked up, they were just banging like fadeaway shots at the rim. They were making free throws. They shot insane. I was like,
Iowa State's also not good offensively.
That too, but they should have been good defensively and injured. And then I went and looked because I made the bet based off of Ole Miss's shooting stats not being that good this year. They're not like known for lighting it up. I mean, we're talking they shot 60% from the field, 58 from three, 77 from free throw line. Scored 91 Iowa State. Like there's a bunch of that was the best effective field goal percentage game they've shot all year. I know you give a couple of days off and it's not a quick turnaround. They're not. They're going to probably shoot 45% effectively from the field. I just know it in my bones. You know, Jace is not going to have another clunker. And I know people talk about analytics.
I feel great about.
And like the KenPom stuff as people of just trusting like that boy Nice watching ball off of no analytics. I know how this game goes. Ole Miss shoots like shit because of Michigan State's good defense. They shut down Padula. Michigan State wins probably by 10. And that's not even like jinxing. That's just honestly what I think. And I will definitely bet that. Might be my biggest unit size of the tournament. I just feel really good about it. Dude, well, I feel so good.
They don't really have a big that can like our bigs haven't played well, but I don't think they have a big that can really expose that. Their guards are smaller than what we've played. And that's the strength of our team is our guards defensively. And like initially, like you see Chris Beard and obviously like 2019, like that's probably my most vivid basketball memory because we went to Minneapolis for the Final Four. And obviously, like
that's the only thing that's like, Chris Beard.
I thought we were gonna roll Texas Tech, and then like we just kind of got punched in the mouth. But I went back and watched that game.
I've watched that game.
I watched highlights.
Times.
I watched highlights from that game, and they were so long. Like and especially like that kid Owens, 11. Team. Yeah. He had like the best defensive game of his life and kind of just shut down Cassius, and Cassius was never really comfortable. Mooney was hitting like unbelievable shots, and he was
even
also
then we got that to a
bigger guard
1-point game.
Yeah, and they had that team had a lottery pick. Like they had Jarrett Culver. That team played unbelievable that day. Ole Miss doesn't. They
damn near won the national championship.
Yeah, they probably should have.
They had so much length. Yeah.
It's just such a different team than this Ole Miss team. Like this Ole Miss team, I think like it is Chris Beard. I think they're going to defend well. The only thing that makes me nervous is Chris Beard is a good enough coach. He might mix a zone look in at us, and like anytime I see Izzo against a zone, it makes me a little nervous.
We like zone.
I think we've broken that mold a little bit, so that doesn't make me too nervous. It's just like Iowa State, like nothing impressed me really. And like, I know Otzelberger gets a lot of hype. I believe he's a good coach, but I've never really seen it in the tournament. And obviously they had bad injury luck this year. So I'm not really that impressed with how they beat Iowa State. I thought Iowa State looked horrible offensively.
I mean, they start 5'11", 6'1", 6'4", 6'8", 6'9". Like they're little.
There's a good account. I might send the account to the chat because that was my laboratory for my bets, which ended up being okay on the day. But they're 270th out of 352 teams in effective height in terms of minutes and height. 322nd in overall rebounding. Ooh, for Ole Miss. Like I think this is just big boy bully ball, cone car, 15 points, all dunks. Just see ya.
Yeah. I like that we can go small and play Cohen at a 4 or 5 if you want. Like, and you can also get a lot of good minutes out of Kohler. So if you're not getting good Carson Cooper minutes, I think we can go small with Kohler, and he won't be that as bad of a mismatch as he was against New Mexico.
Yeah, as friend of the pod, Luke and I discussed. We did some scouting. Ole Miss on paper is a fantastic matchup for us. Like that's scary to say, but like they are a very good matchup for us. They're 32% in the last 10 games from three, so they're not very good at shooting threes. They're even worse at defending threes. They give up 35% on threes. They stink at 2-point defense. Stink. 344th in the country in the last 10 games at guarding the two. And that's all we like to do. They also foul all the time. Terrible. They have no true big. They shouldn't be able to like post up, do something on the block. Like we don't have to worry about that. It's just going to be our guards putting them in a torture chamber around the 3-point line. And you just have to hope Padula doesn't drop like 40 points on crazy threes.
But like you just know Fears is going to make Padula so uncomfortable. He just like, I don't know what he does. He speeds up guys.
Yeah,
that's
and
the theory of why everyone shoots
bad
against you, because they play so fast. They're never settled and can make threes.
He is just so in guys' ass, that like it's just I just don't see a world. I'm probably gonna regret this, but like he's just gonna defend so
it
well.
Sucks
like,
how good I feel about it. But also another thing that I was like reading about last week before the tournament started was like when Michigan State's guards like get the board and run, and they run off makes, and they run, and they're running all game long. Like either A, the guards on the other team have to focus on like getting back and playing defense, which is then another reason why they all suck at shooting, because they've been running all game. Their legs get tired and they start just leaving threes short over and over because we're just running people up and down. And the dumbest stat ever in college basketball is like pace. Like who ranks high in pace. Like that is a stupid stat, because if you suck at defense, people will score very fast on you. Like that's pace isn't a real thing. It's really how many points do you get in transition. That's what matters. So I just wanted to get that little pace ran out of there. Michigan State's second in the country in transition points, but we're like 190th in pace. But if anybody watched Michigan State basketball with their eyeballs, they'd be like, this team is very fast. They run, they get out. And that's like how they do their damage. So I just wanted to get my little pace rant out of there.
Bert stats.
I also like
it's a good match. They should win. They should win.
They almost blew that game to North Carolina. North Carolina is not good this year, and we saw that. We saw that all year, and they almost choked that down the stretch. And the other thing is like neither of their game. Like I know the North Carolina game got close. Like they were never really tested in either of those games until like the last 4 minutes of the North Carolina game. That was like a 15, 20-point lead the entire game. We kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit to start, at least in the first half of Bryant and New Mexico. And we've seen this team in close games, and we've seen how they bounce back in the second half. And I just don't think Ole Miss is going to be ready for that.
And they have impressive wins. And they've won games that you're like, oh, they beat Kentucky by 14, and they scored almost 100 points against them. But Kentucky doesn't play defense. They beat Tennessee.
They also lost to Auburn in the SEC tournament. Auburn was bad.
Yeah, and they got held under to Auburn.
Yeah,
they lost to Auburn at home by 30, 106-76. Like,
dude, I might run the same New Mexico blueprint. What's the team total on Ole Miss? Yeah, 70.5. I'm not sure they're going to score 70 points. They are streaky. The only thing you can say is they're streaky. Like I saw against Iowa State, if they're hot, I don't like. They just make shots, but. That can't happen twice in a row. That's not how average teams play basketball. You don't like have two generational shooting performances back to back in a tournament. You don't.
I know we're a few weeks removed, but they gave up 106 to Auburn at the end of February, and they also lost to the Solution and Vanderbilt, and we saw how bad Vanderbilt was. I just have.
Yeah, I mean it's
hard to believe.
It's a layup.
This is how I'd put it. There's the version of Ole Miss where they get hot and we lose. Like the chance of that actually showing up is like 30%. Realistically, it's like 70% chance that team does not show up and shoot 60% from three and light us up. If that version doesn't show up, Michigan State should be able to find a way to win against any other version of them, because they're overall, they're not some like, they don't have a bunch of NBA talent. They don't have a big guy down low that they can throw to get a bucket at any point. Their best player is a 6-foot white point guard who
wears a headband, and that's your bit. He's not even doing the bit right. Like they show the crowd, everyone wears a headband. Like no, Michigan State wears headbands. Like good luck against Fears and Holloman with your headband.
Which the kid is very good, and like he could go off. He could have a little like Marcus Noel moment against us. Like the only comparison I have for this team is like Kansas State, who had two guys, two real like good players. And then that one third guy who made up like 23s against us.
Or whatever his name was. Yeah.
Like, that is what this game vibe gives me. But that Michigan State team didn't defend the way this team does. Like, AJ.
Backdoor alley-oop.
Dropped 30, but like he didn't play defense. Tyson Walker not the greatest defender either. He's a little smaller. Like, I would rather have the guys we have now playing defense, excluding Jace. So I just it would take a lot for them to go 70% from three for us to lose. But that
help
could
me
happen.
With the spread. It's 2.5 right now, which is crazy to me.
Trap,
but
like,
if you're me, who this will probably be a whale, do I wait? Because I feel like that number has better odds of moving in bigger for Michigan State than like getting closer to a pick'em. I don't know how America's going to spend a week on this game and decide that Ole Miss has a better chance to win. I feel like I might need to do it tonight after we're done recording. I think that might be when I do it.
It is
2.5 is nice. Like you win by 3. You win this game by 3.
I think it's an overcorrection of how we looked the last 2 games.
But like, I got more confident. I was like, oh, they just
like New Mexico and Ole Miss, like that would be a very good game. Like I don't even know that Ole Miss would win that game.
I think,
but maybe I'm just way off on them. I haven't watched enough tape.
I think they're trying to bait the public into saying, like, look, Ole Miss, the 6th seed, just beat Iowa State.
Scored 91.
13 points.
Yeah.
In that game, they scored 91. Michigan State struggled with New Mexico. It was a close game until, 3 minutes left?
Yeah.
They're going to try to bait and say, 2.5 points, I'll take Ole Miss money line.
They are, Cody. You're right. And they're like, oh, they beat Brand, North Carolina, who was like dog water all year and had a little plucky stretch at the end. And they beat Iowa State, who's missing arguably their best player. So
you also get
the North Carolina without Jace. So come on.
Like the SEC hype of they have 7 of the 16 teams that are left. So it's like, I'm going to take the SEC team.
Yeah, I just feel so good about this game. I feel so good. And I'm not, this is not troll
That's
grad.
what hurts. That's what hurts because
this is not. I bet on you guys last game. It worked
It'd
great.
just be so different if they had a big, because I know we're going to shut down their guards, but last night we shut down their guards and they just kept going to Joseph. And he was, our bigs were going to get beat.
Cody, if we take away
an option like that.
The first 10 minutes of the New Mexico game, our defense was fantastic the last
time.
New Mexico didn't score.
Brakefield, he scores 11, but he's probably gonna be in foul trouble. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
he's gonna run over Jeremy Fears at half court at some point in this game. He's just going to. I've seen it happen.
What I do need Michigan State to do is they need to eliminate all doubt early. They cannot come out against a team like this that can get hot and let them and spot them 10 points.
No, it's fine because then I'll just live money line and make more money. I've seen that.
I need this Michigan State team to come out like they did against LSU in the Sweet 16 in 2019, 9-0, and then run it out.
Iowa State did that.
That's the game it should be.
It was 15-3. Iowa State
than
start
Iowa
the game.
State. We are better.
We have the best all-around player on the floor in Jaden Akins, I think. I know he's not obviously that good offensively, but his defense makes up for it. So I have the ultimate confidence in him.
And Jason's going for 15. Let's not bullshit ourselves.
Is whatever Jace's over-under is, I'm taking that over.
Unless he actually has the yips, which we could consider. What if he did just forget?
He also had a
Mike
game sealing and one at the end of the game, and then
he changed his shoes
3 free throws
at halftime of the Bryant game. You guys see that?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Got to figure out the shoes. I don't know if it's like Mike's situation, but he
there
did
was
change
a rip
his shoes.
in his shoes.
It's also Cohen Carr homecoming, which is underrated. He might go crazy.
If there was a prop bet for over 1.5 dunks or 2.5 dunks, I would be all over that.
I will be watching Ole Miss before I go to bed tonight. But
Kohler's going to feast on the offensive glass. I can see it already in my head.
The problem, I don't even think we mentioned it, but the rebounding, Michigan State should dominate the glass. And the way they dominated Bryant in the second half, where they just got I think the rebounding exploded 52-30 rebounds, Michigan State. That is what I expect. If your shot doesn't travel with you, defense and rebounding will, and that should at least keep you in the game the whole game. There's no way they're going to blow us out.